Don Martin, host of Power Play, joins us now. Don, these negotiations have been going on for so long. So word today, we just heard it, this bilateral deal. So now I guess everybody's sitting back saying, okay, so what about Canada?
Yeah, and it didn't sound very encouraging. I mean, there's encouraging developments here, Beverly, in the sense that, yes, auto parts is a big stickler between the U.S. and Mexico. And to say that you're going to boost the content from those two countries in every car to 75% is good news for Canada if that's replicated in a deal with us as well. So you got to look at the positives on this. But on the other hand, Trump repeatedly kept saying, you know, but it'd be easier just to slap some tariffs on cars from Canada than trying to find a way to get them into a renegotiated NAFTA. So he sounded very dismissive of Canada in that, mistakenly saying that Mexico is a more important market than Canada for the U.S. It's not. And he sort of basically said, that's it. We'll see if Canada wants to crawl forward or broken glass and come to the table. It just didn't seem like he was very encouraging at all, even though the Mexican president repeatedly said, hey, this is a three-way deal, not a two-way deal with just us and the Americans.
Yeah, he almost seemed to be, Trump was almost gushing about that on the phone, saying what a great relationship he has now with Mexico, and that this deal, he said he didn't even want to call it NAFTA anymore.
Yeah, U.S.-Mexico trade deal. He says, sounds much better, doesn't it? And I'm going, whoa, that doesn't sound very encouraging. You know, not an encouraging word out of his mouth other than to say, well, Canada's very anxious to get this deal, which they are. But I think if you look at what the detail is with Canada, or sorry, the United States and Mexico, you got to think there's more encouraging stuff in there than discouraging. Certainly the Mexicans clearly want Canada to be part of this deal. So the next 90 days are going to be decisive, I guess, on whether we can get this thing going forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, his references to Canada were interesting, as you point out. I think we've got another portion of what he had to say.
I think we'll give them a chance to probably have a separate deal. We could have a separate deal, or we could put it into this deal. I like to call this deal the United States-Mexico Trade Agreement. I think it's an elegant name. I think NAFTA has a lot of bad connotations for the United States because it was a ripoff. It was a deal that was a horrible deal for our country.
So, and Don, he's talked about a possible separate deal on a number of occasions. What about the Canadian government? What's our position on that, on a separate deal?
Well, we don't like it. We want it to stay a three-way deal. It was interesting that Prime Minister Trudeau did talk to the Mexican president over the weekend to talk about making sure it's a three-way deal. And certainly the only statement out of Foreign Affairs today, Beverly said, hey, you know, Canada, you need us to make this deal binding. It's a three-signature deal. But that doesn't sound like that's Donald Trump's preference, and maybe not his inclination. He may just try and ram this through as a two-way deal and say, Canada, we'll come to terms with you somewhere down the road. I don't know where it's going. Congress is supposed to have more to do with this than Trump is letting on. I guess we'll have to wait and see how they handle it.
Okay, Don Martin, thank you.